At least the first, second one थोड़ा सा छोटा सा ट्रैप था उसमें, but at least the first one. Second one is well, good, nice. Nice. All right, so we'll just quickly discuss the working. इसमें 1 2 3 4. Good job. Nice. Second one थोड़ा सा tricky था. First वाला एक बार दिखा देते हैं. Yeah, Hardik, most probably, but let's see. Most probably, let's see. Can I explain strings and pulleys in short? हाँ, इसमें देखते हैं ना, इसी के थ्रू देखेंगे. I guess you're referring to this type of question itself. Strings and pulleys मतलब इस टाइप का क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है ना, इस टाइप के क्वेश्चन को कैसे करते हैं. हाँ, इसके थ्रू समझ में आ जाएगा. देखिए, I can't remember the diagram. एक और है, ठीक है, एक और कॉपी करना चाहिए था मुझे. Anyways, अब this is the same. So all these springs are labeled K. Okay, all these springs are labeled K. Never mind. All these springs are labeled K, and they all have the same spring constant. It's a little distracting. A last attempt. हाँ, fine. तो इसमें क्या करेंगे? फर्स्ट स्टेप मैंने बोला था, तुम ये ब्लॉक के बगल में जो स्ट्रिंग है उसमें टेंशन T लेबल कर लो. ओके, उसमें टेंशन T लेबल कर लो. फिर ऐसा तुम हर स्ट्रिंग में लेबल कर लो. तो यहाँ पे जैसे ही तुमने इसको T लेबल किया, the others get labeled as, this one gets labeled as T, this one gets labeled as 2T. You know all of this. So this entire string is going to be 2T. फिर 2T तो पुली के उस तरफ जो स्ट्रिंग है, आइडियल पुली है, उस तरफ जो स्ट्रिंग है उसके लिए 4T होगा. And that same string goes to the other side of this fixed pulley, तो यहाँ पे भी 4T होगा. Then what I said is, I said कि यहाँ पे है ना, we compare this situation with, a spring of spring constant K equivalent. Then our first claim is कि दोनों सेम फोर्स लगाना चाहिए ब्लॉक पे जब ब्लॉक को सेम अमाउंट से मूव किया. तो मान लो दोनों सिचुएशन में हम ब्लॉक को सेम अमाउंट से मूव करेंगे. सो लेट्स से, अब वैसे यूज करना नहीं है x को, but let's just say they're moved by x in both situations. Then the response of both systems should be the same. Both systems should apply a force of T on the block, which is why we'll never start labeling T from here. अगर हम यहाँ पे T ले रहे हैं तो यहाँ पे भी वापस T लेना है, because ultimately ब्लॉक पे जो फोर्स लग रहा है वो दोनों सिस्टम के थ्रू सेम होना चाहिए, तब दोनों सिस्टम इक्विवेलेंट सिस्टम्स माना जा सकता है. फिर दूसरी बात यह है कि अब एनर्जी सेम है. सो व्हेन आई ट्राई टू से कि द एनर्जी ऑफ बोथ सिस्टम्स आर द सेम, देन आई गेट माय फाइनल इक्वेशन. तो इसका एनर्जी के लिए फॉर्मूला है टेंशन स्क्वायर by 2K equivalent. T square by 2K is the formula for potential energy of a spring. Okay. T square by 2K. अब बाकी 4 springs के लिए लिखो. So starting from this guy, उस पे टेंशन T है, उसके लिए आएगा T square by 2K. Then the next guy, उस पे टेंशन 2T है, उस पे आएगा 2T का square by 2K. Okay. Now as you get used to this, you don't need to always write T square and by 2. You can write T square and by 2 in your head and cancel it out in your head itself. ठीक है, बिकॉज अल्टीमेटली वो टी स्क्वायर सारे इक्वेशन से कटेगा। इस स्प्रिंग के लिए 4t²/2k और लास्ट वाले के लिए भी 4t²/2k। ऐसा जब सबके लिए लिखोगे तो ये है पोटेंशियल एनर्जी ऑफ द लेफ्ट वाला सिस्टम and t²/2k equivalent is the potential energy of the right wala system. You can now cancel 2 from all the terms. You can even cancel t² from all the terms. And then you have this equation with you. 1/k equivalent is 1/k. ऊपर रहेगा 1 + 4 + 16 + 16. तो अल्टीमेटली इक्वेशन इस टाइप का आता है कि 1/k equivalent is 1/k is some numerator upon k. और ये जो न्यूमरेटर क्या होता है, जो भी स्प्रिंग में टेंशन है ना, वहां पे टेंशन का कोएफिशिएंट का स्क्वायर। तो पहला स्प्रिंग का टेंशन 1t था तो 1 का स्क्वायर, दूसरा स्प्रिंग का टेंशन 2t था तो 2 का स्क्वायर, और बाकी दोनों का 4t था तो 4 का स्क्वायर। ठीक है, तो वैसा रिजल्ट है। समटाइम्स पीपल विल टेल यू शॉर्टकट लाइक दैट, बट आई मीन ठीक है वैसे यार, इफ यू this is logical, so if you remember this from there you can go here and you can remember the shortcut that way. अल्टीमेटली वो टेंशन का कोएफिशिएंट का स्क्वायर ऐड हो रहा है यहाँ पे न्यूमरेटर में, तो 1 + 2² + 4² + 4² by k is 1/k equivalent, making this 37/k. ठीक है, और फिर टाइम पीरियड निकालना है। टाइम पीरियड इज 2π√m/k equivalent, तो डायरेक्टली m/k equivalent मतलब 1/k equivalent की जगह डायरेक्टली 37/k लिख लो। This becomes 37m/k. Nice coincidence. Anyway, so this is the answer. Let me know if you understood this. Any doubts in this? Okay. एक मिनट। सेकंड वाला, यस प्रीति, यस। हाँ, सेकंड वाला बस एक छोटा सा ट्रैप था। इस सेकंड वाले में you can see कि this situation is not exactly the same as the ones I had given you this method for, because in the one where I had given you this method, there was never a spring below the block. यहाँ पे there's actually a spring below the block, and honestly यहाँ पे this entire system can be combined as one system. Okay, but the methodology was for that. तो ये उसका पार्ट ऐसा ले नहीं सकता, क्योंकि एक तो जब इसमें हम टेंशन टी लिख रहे हैं, there is no direct way of writing इसका टेंशन in terms of t. There's no direct way in writing this tension in terms of t. एक मिनट, क्या पहले क्वेश्चन का आंसर इनकरेक्ट दिया है? वो 37 ऊपर होना चाहिए था क्या? Should I stop the recording? No, did I? I stopped the screen share. Yeah, sorry. किसी का, did anyone get this and then doubt yourself and think that you were wrong? Okay, my apologies. Let me check the second one as well. Let's see. मैंने second वाला सही किया क्या? तो यहाँ पे actually what I was saying is, don't. अब theoretically you can एक मिनट, होल्ड ऑन. इफ देयर आर टू ब्लॉक्स, नो, फिर I mean, it does not, it need not always result in a nice harmonic motion, because what is the guarantee दोनों का time period same होगा? So I mean, in these kind of questions, we'll not give you two blocks. This itself is a complicated question जिसका एक simple solution fortunately है हमारे पास, but this in itself is not a, I mean, you won't get two blocks in this. और उनका मोशन भी SHM होना जरूरी नहीं है. तो फिलहाल ये यहाँ पे क्या कर लो ना, यू कांट, एक तो इवन इफ यू ट्राई इंक्लूडिंग ऑल ऑफ देम, आई होप यू विल नॉट कॉल इसका टेंशन टी. इनफैक्ट व्हेन यू ट्राई टू राइट इसका टेंशन, यू शुड गेट स्टक, एंड व्हेन यू गेट स्टक, लेट दैट बी अ रिमाइंडर कि अरे, लेट्स नॉट डू दिस. व्हाई ब्रेक आवर हेड्स एंड ट्राई टू इंक्लूड दिस इन द इक्विवेलेंट स्प्रिंग सिस्टम? लेट्स डू समथिंग सिंपलर. इसके ऊपर जो पार्ट है उसके लिए के इक्विवेलेंट निकाल दो. इसके ऊपर जो पार्ट है उसके लिए के इक्विवेलेंट निकाल दो, और नीचे वाला तो पता ही है, नीचे वाला का जो भी स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट होगा, फिर हमें पता है कि ओवरऑल स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट, ओके, आई विल कॉल दिस के, लेट्स कॉल दिस के डैश. ओवरऑल स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट इन दोनों का पैरेलल एडिशन होगा. Okay, so we are in fact only going to try to replace this with k dash, and those who try to do all of this, you can check one mistake you might have made in solving would have been taking this tension to be t. Okay, and it's not, in fact it's not going to be in terms of t. Iska tension is going to depend on t and mg and stuff like that. So बस अब k dash लिखते हैं, तो 1 upon k dash. If I can now skip some steps, I'm trying to skip t square by 2k. So 1 upon k dash, पहले k एक बार t लेबल कर लेते हैं. यहाँ का टेंशन t, नीचे मत लेबल कर लो, यहाँ पे t, यहाँ पे t. जहाँ पे स्प्रिंग नहीं है टेंशन मत ले लो. A string does not store potential energy, so you can ignore the strings. Okay, and actually I don't like the shortcut, I'll write the full formula. तो ये एक बार तुमने टेंशन लेबल किया, then t square by 2k dash is the potential energy of this spring, which is supposed to replace this entire system. So दोनों का energy should be the same. तो फिर इस पूरे system में, if you can see, यहाँ पे t के लिए spring है ही नहीं, 2t के लिए directly spring है. So we have 2t का whole square by 2k plus again 2t का whole square by 2k. 2 and t can be cancelled out. You get 1 by k dash is 4 plus 4 by k. Okay, 2 and t can be cancelled out. So 1 by k dash is 4 plus 4 by k. So 1 by k dash is 8 by k. Now that you have this k equivalent, the total k equivalent is actually k dash plus k, because we have gone over this ki those springs, if the spring is on the other side, you can actually bring it to this side and treat it as if they are in parallel. So k equivalent is k dash plus k. K dash is k upon 8. So this becomes 9k by 8. And therefore our time period is going to be 2 pi under root m by 9k by 8. So that becomes 8m by 9k. I hope ये सही लिखा है मैंने. Got it? I hope everyone understood one trap to avoid. इसमें theoretically idea ये है कि okay fine, you could try including all of them, but then there's a problem. This is on the other side and tension cannot be written in terms of t. Alright? So you just replace all of this with a spring, and then फिर सीधा parallel addition हो जाता है दोनों का. Alright, good. Cool. So no doubts. If there's no doubts, and if you're done copying and nobody's saying wait, तो फिर आगे बढ़ेंगे. I'll wait. Okay, fine. I'll wait. Okay. जिन्होंने वेट बोला है हो गया तो बता दो. अच्छा ठीक. All right. So now let's look at simple pendulum as a linear SHM. Okay? Remember, I keep saying SHM, but so far what I've introduced you guys to is linear SHM. And today we'll also learn angular SHM, so you'll get to see what the difference is or how similar they actually are. The simple pendulum as a linear SHM. As a linear SHM for small oscillations. Let's prove this. Let's see why it's going to be a linear SHM for small oscillations. So, if you consider your pendulum, okay, imagine a string of length L and a small bob attached to it. And let's say you displace this pendulum from its mean position by a small amount theta. And let's say theta is small. Theta is very small. Okay. Then what we're going to get is when we look at the bob and we try to talk about the restoring forces on the bob. First of all, when theta is very small, let's say the displacement of the bob from its mean position in that case is x. Okay. So it's actually x along the arc, but if theta is going to be small, it's not going to make a difference. It's almost going to be like a straight line. Okay. So let's say the displacement of the bob from its mean position is x. Okay. So now यहाँ पे मान लो अब इस ब्लॉक पे वी नो कि हमें पता है mg लगेगा एंड mg को अब मान लो हमें दो कंपोनेंट में रिजॉल्व करना है. So we can nicely see that this angle is again going to be theta this angle is going to be 9, the other angle is going to be 90 minus theta. So because that angle is theta, we know when we resolve mg into its components, it gets resolved to mg cos theta along the string, and then mg sin theta perpendicular to the string. And this mg sin theta component is actually the restoring force on the bob. Mg sin theta component is actually the restoring force on the bob. That's the one which brings the bob back. Okay. So now we can say that d square x if you try to write your equations, एक तो tension वाला equation we know, not relevant for us, but we know कि tension at any instant, है ना, इस पे हो सकता है इस direction में pseudo force भी लगे, तो we know कि can also experience mv square by L at any instant in this direction from the rotating frame, ये भी लगेगा, ठीक है. तो उस हिसाब से टेंशन अगर चाहिए तो टेंशन आएगा mg cos theta plus mv square by L. mg cos theta plus mv square by L. तो टेंशन अगर चाहिए तो ऐसा इक्वेशन लिख सकते हैं. And we saw this in circular motion as well. Mg sin theta and velocity are no, mg sin theta and velocity are not perpendicular. Why will mg sin theta is along this line, velocity is also along this line? Mg sin theta and these forces are perpendicular. The centripetal acceleration, your centripetal, your radial forces, tension, mv square by L, mg cos theta, they are in the radial direction. And mg sin theta is along the tangential direction. Okay. So now when we try to write force in the tangential direction, okay, when we try to write force in the tangential direction, we are going to get minus mg sin theta because we are taking this direction as positive. Okay, so let's try to write force in the tangential direction in that direction, and we get minus mg sin theta. Okay, now sin theta can be written as minus mg theta approximately. Okay, because theta is small, minus mg theta approximately, theta is small, and then minus mg theta can be written as minus mg x by L, minus mg x by L. When the angle is small, sin theta is approximately equal to theta, na? When the angle is small, sin theta is approximately equal to theta. तो वो किया हमने F tangential. So this is not the extreme position. One of you is asking me, sir, why are we considering mv square by L? तो ये एक्चुअली मैं कंसिडर नहीं कर रहा हूँ, ये बस तुम्हें इन्फॉर्म किया कि ऐसा टेंशन आएगा. मैं ये भी नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि ये एक्सट्रीम पोजीशन नेसेसरली है. I'm just saying, imagine the bob is found x distance away from its mean position. अगर उसका velocity होगा तो ये होगा टेंशन, अगर velocity नहीं होगा, extreme position होगा तो वो होगा टेंशन. Okay. Now either way, tension is not really our concern. We are more concerned with motion in this direction. Okay, because it's forces in this direction which are causing it to oscillate. There's the forces in this direction which are causing it to oscillate. So there's only one force, and that was mg sin theta. Okay, now I took this direction as positive, thereby calling my displacement as positive x. Okay, and force, tangential force आ गया minus mg sin theta. फिर sin theta को approximately minus mg theta लिख लिया, because when theta is small, sin theta is approximately equal to theta, and then theta can be written as x upon L. theta can be written as arc length by radius, and arc length is x because x is positive, because I took this direction as positive. Okay, so whichever direction you take, one way or another, ultimately इस equation में minus sign आएगा ही आएगा. Now when you look at this equation, what have we just proved? क्या है इसका consequence इस equation का? Very nice. So we've just proved that this equation is of the type where force is proportional to x and is opposite in direction. है ना? Force is proportional to x, is opposite in direction. Proportional to x, opposite in direction. तो ये माइनस साइन बस उसके कारण आ रहा है, नहीं तो फोर्स का मैग्नीट्यूड mg sin थीटा है, और mg sin थीटा को थीटा लिखा, थीटा को x by l लिखा, तो फोर्स का मैग्नीट्यूड है mg x by l. So mg by l is k. mg by l is k, and those who are talking about omega square acceleration के equation में आता है. So acceleration जब निकालने जाओगे तो acceleration is force by mass, which will make it minus gx by l. Okay? Yes, and then minus g by l is your omega square. Minus g by l is omega square. So यहाँ पे with this derivation we get k is mg by l. If you want omega, we get omega is, sorry, I wrote the same thing again. ये क्या लिखूंगा? माइनस ओमेगा स्क्वायर एक्स लिखूंगा. एक्सेलरेशन का ऐसा इक्वेशन है. ठीक, k is just m times omega square. तो जो भी ओमेगा स्क्वायर है, k is m times that. तो k is mg by l या ओमेगा is root g by l, सब कुछ यहाँ से दिखता है. टाइम पीरियड का फॉर्मूला है 2 पाई बाय ओमेगा, 2 पाई बाय ओमेगा, तो ओमेगा का रेसिप्रोकल लिख लो. यहाँ से we get that all important formula for time period, which you may have seen in certain other chapters as well. I think we saw this in thermal expansion, and I'm sure you guys might have seen this in gravitation as well. So this is finally us proving that formula, 2 pi root L by G. This is the time period of a simple pendulum. Okay. When is this result valid? Electrostatics में भी use हो रहा है. तो हमारा gravitation हो गया पूरा. I think हाँ, TWT भी हुआ था ना. Okay. All right. So time period is 2 pi root L by G. That's your result. इसमें what can we note? First thing is it's valid for only for small oscillations. In fact, if the oscillations were not small, it would not be an SHM. Okay, so यहाँ पे therefore SHM. Because of this result, we prove it's an SHM. If the oscillations were not small, it would have not been an SHM. Sin theta को कभी भी x के terms में फिर नहीं लिख पाते थे. So this is an SHM only for small oscillations. Some things you can observe, it does not depend on the mass of the bob. Only depends on the length of the string. Does not depend on the mass of the bob. Doesn't depend on m. Doesn't depend on amplitude. Oscillate, मतलब amplitude कितना बड़ा है कितना छोटा है उस पे भी depend नहीं करता है. E doesn't depend on m. Yeah. It depends on G. So of course, if you go to a different planet, it will get affected by whatever is the mass and the radius of that planet. So it depends on G, and it depends on the length of the string. But yeah, it doesn't depend on the mass of the bob, nor on the amplitude. That amplitude wala point is interesting. Doesn't depend on the mass of the bob, nor on the amplitude. X is the displacement. So just to start again, क्या किया? Axis define किया. तो पार्टिकल का डिस्प्लेसमेंट फ्रॉम मीन पोजीशन ऐसा x लिखा, ठीक है, और फिर उस पे फोर्स इन दैट डायरेक्शन देखा, तो फिर फोर्स is minus mg sin theta because it's opposite your displacement. And then sin theta could be written as theta, and then theta can be written as x by L. तो वहां से we prove कि the force is proportional to x. And वहां पे we prove कि force is proportional to displacement, so therefore it is an SHM. और फिर x के आगे जो भी चीज है वो अपना k हो गया. टाइम पीरियड इज 2 पाई रूट m by k, या ओमेगा निकाल दो, m डिवाइड करके ओमेगा निकाल दो, है ना. सो एक्सेलरेशन में x के आगे जो भी चीज है वो ओमेगा स्क्वायर है. तो एक्सेलरेशन में m गायब होके g by l रह जाता है, ये ओमेगा स्क्वायर है. तो ओमेगा इज रूट g by l. टाइम पीरियड इज 2 पाई बाय ओमेगा, 2 पाई रूट l by g. ओके. एंड नहीं, अच्छा, one of you saying theta tends to 0, so amplitude is more or less the same. Not true, na, because if theta is 1, the point is let the amplitude be, let the angle be 1 degree, let the angle be 2 degree, let the angle be 3 degree. Let's say we are still considering the small. Point is that in all those scenarios, our time period is not is barely changing. Or if we use our approximation, we'll say our time period is exactly the same. Yeah. तो स्मॉल है, that doesn't mean हर स्मॉल चीज छोटा है. Between 0 and 1 there are infinite numbers, right? So just because they're small, that doesn't mean they're the same. Yeah, cool. And दूसरा एक मिनट, I'm just trying to address all your doubts. Is there any specified value of theta for which this is sure? नहीं, ऐसा स्पेसिफाइड वैल्यू नहीं है, सब फीलिंग पे. इट डिपेंड्स ऑन हाउ एक्यूरेट यू वांट टू बी. थीटा जितना छोटा होगा उतना एक्यूरेट ये रिजल्ट होगा, थीटा जितना बड़ा होगा उतना इनएक्यूरेट ये रिजल्ट होगा. It's like that. So you can just, by feeling, you can maybe tolerate up till 5 degrees and so on. साइन 30 डिग्रीज भी एक बार देख लो. 30 डिग्रीज क्या हो जाता है? साइन 30 डिग्रीज is half, whereas 30 degrees itself in radians is pi by 6. So still pretty close to half. I mean, not bad. So if you can tolerate that kind of error, then 30 degrees also is not big. So it's fine. It's a reasonable approximation. All right, done with this page. Why did we include F tangential? Because F tangential was the one along our X. SHM prove करना था ना कि SHM है. So SHM के लिए I want to prove कि there's a restoring force opposite X. So I don't care about the other forces. In fact, all these other forces balance get cancelled out. I hope you know that. ये तो मैंने ऐसा हाँ मतलब ऐसा एक रोटेटिंग फ्रेम में तुम्हें दिखेगा, these forces cancel out. टेंशन एक तरफ है and mg cos theta and mv square by L are cancelling out in that rotating frame, बॉब के फ्रेम से. But this is an unbalanced force. This is the force which is going to bring the particle back, which will not disappear unless the particle is at the main position. So we are analyzing along the path of that particle. We know ki this is an SHM. We know this, we know this is our equilibrium position. So we displaced it from its equilibrium position and we want to see कि इसको वापस पीछे खींचने वाला फोर्स x के प्रोपोर्शनल है या नहीं है. Got it? If theta is large, if theta is large, it is going to be harmonic. It's not going to be an SHM. If theta is large, you can't call it an SHM, but you can still call it, you can still say कि it's going to be harmonic. Why shouldn't it be? By symmetry. जितना यहाँ से यहाँ गिर के, मतलब जितना एक तरफ राइज होके गिरने का, नहीं वैसा नहीं. Why should it be symmetric? Because if it's not losing energy, it's coming back to the same point. And if it comes back to the same point, story should repeat. So therefore, it should always be harmonic, whether angle is small or big. But when the angle is small, you can also say it is an SHM. Okay. All right. So now, for next week's TW, जितना chapter हुआ उतना आएगा. Mostly we'll be done with almost everything. But still, whatever is not going to be finished will not come. All right. So now we're going to have a look at angular SHM. And by now, I think you've realized your TWTs are actually not difficult. They're simple. If you're engaged in class, it's just going to, in a way, just be a test of what you have done over the past few weeks. It's just for your practice, just for you to know how much you've understood in class and stuff like that. It's not one which you're going to, prepare for specifically, because if you're paying attention in class and you're doing your homework, you're more or less prepared for the test, or extra prepare nahi karna. Okay? So just do the homework I've given, and pay attention in class. You'll be ready for the TW. All right, angular SHM. So, iska definition dekh lo. Okay. So, in this, maybe before angular SHM, I'll define what angular oscillations are. So we understand normal oscillations as to and fro motion. Angular oscillations ke liye, let me define it this way. When a body free to rotate about a given fixed axis, when a body free to rotate about a given fixed axis, rotates to and fro about it, मतलब clockwise, anti-clockwise, एक axis के ऊपर घूमता है, it is said to undergo angular oscillations. Is said to undergo angular oscillations. Okay? So when a body free to rotate about a fixed axis rotates to and fro about it, it is said to undergo angular oscillations. Now, it's simple. So angular oscillation just means, imagine a disc ki, for some reason, ये disc likes being like this. It prefers maintaining this orientation. मान लो यहाँ पे एक axis है and you try rotating this clockwise, this will keep coming back. Maybe there is some spring mechanism. Okay, so imagine, you want to imagine a spring mechanism. Let's say this disc is, attached to two springs like this. ये तो ऊपर से देखना. You don't make this diagram, but if I rotate this, then what's going to happen? This spring is going to get compressed. That spring is going to get stretched. They don't like it. They want to go back to the natural length. So they will provide a counter torque to this disc, and it will try to bring back the disc to the equilibrium position. Now, because of all of this, what would the subsequent motion of the disc look like? Can you imagine that? And then if this disc is free to rotate about this axis, okay, and I rotate the disc clockwise and you have springs like this, can you imagine कि subsequent motion of the disc ऐसा होगा कि वो counter clockwise rotate करेगा, फिर वापस clockwise rotate करेगा, फिर counter clockwise rotate करेगा, ऐसा clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti ऐसा rotate करते जाएगा. Can you visualize that? Because when that happens, that is called an angular oscillation. So oscillation is a to and fro motion, but an angular oscillation is a to and fro rotation. Okay, वापस अच्छा, ये fixed axis है, मान लो ये एक disc है. This is a disc with some markings on it. ठीक है? It's not a clown. There's a disc with some markings on it, and these are two springs. If I rotate now, right now the springs are at natural length. मैं बस disc को ऐसा घुमा के छोड़ रहा हूँ. Visualize the subsequent motion. So the disc will bounce back to this portion, to this orientation जहाँ पे face सीधा है, but then it will cross over और फिर वापस फिर रुकेगा, फिर ऐसा लौट के आएगा, again it will cross over. तो ऐसा clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise ऐसा oscillate करते जाएगा. So that kind of oscillation where motion की जगह rotation है, that is called as angular oscillation. है ना? Oscillation मतलब आगे पीछे move करना. Angular oscillation मतलब ऐसा left right, ऐसा clockwise, anti-clockwise एक axis के about rotate करना. Got it? Like when you drive a car, and especially if you give a toy steering wheel to a kid, बच्चा को कैसा लगता है गाड़ी कैसे चलाते हैं? रोटेट करते जाता है वो स्टीयरिंग व्हील को, है ना? तो वैसा how a kid would rotate a steering wheel if he's pretending to drive, that motion of that steering wheel is angular oscillation. बच्चा clockwise, anti-clockwise, clockwise, anti-clockwise घुमाते जाएगा. That is angular oscillation. Okay, cool, simple है. अब थोड़ा और स्पेसिफिक हो जाते हैं. We want to know what an angular SHM is. Okay? What an angular SHM is. So, अब इसका definition देखो. When a body free to, let me just simplify it. When a body undergoes angular oscillations, you can borrow the previous definition. So when a body undergoes angular oscillations, मतलब ऐसा आगे पीछे for some reason rotate कर रहा है, clockwise, anti-clockwise rotate करते जा रहा है, in such a way that the magnitude of its angular acceleration, यानी कि alpha, the magnitude of its angular acceleration is always proportional to its angular displacement. ठीक है? तो वहां पे SHM में क्या था? Acceleration was proportional to displacement. यहाँ पे angular acceleration is proportional to angular displacement. ठीक है? From वहां पे था from a fixed position, यहाँ पे हम बोलेंगे from a fixed angular position. Okay, from a fixed angular position. Like for that smiley face, that fixed angular position was when the smiley face was straight. Okay, from a fixed angular position. And its direction, and the direction of its angular acceleration is always opposite, is always opposite the angular displacement, then the particle, then the body is said to be performing an angular SHM. Okay, now this looks like a new term, but actually don't get scared of this, because if you have understood linear SHM, if you have understood whatever we did all this while, angular SHM is almost the same thing, is just in a rotating context instead of a translating context. The definition is also almost the same. Yes, Prithvi, yes. So the definition is also almost the same. Yeah, I'll definitely explain the difference. Definition भी almost same है, बस हर टर्म के सामने एंगुलर दिख रहा है तुम्हें. ओके, तो अब यहाँ पे एक्चुअली हो क्या रहा है. सो इमेजिन कि देयर इज imagine that there is a disk like this. Okay? Imagine that there's a disk like this. And let's say that this is the axis of the disk. It's free to rotate about this axis. Okay. Now, let's say this is the disk's fixed. Yeah, this is the disk's angular position when at equilibrium. This is the disk's angular position at equilibrium. Okay, the disk looks like this. This is this angular position at equilibrium. ठीक है, थोड़ा अगर इसको अच्छे से demarcate करना है तो let's just draw a line. Okay, and let's take this line to be where theta is 0. Let's call the angular position of the disk in this orientation as theta equal to 0. अब क्या है, जब तुम इस डिस्क को घुमाओगे through an angle theta, where theta is your angular displacement. Okay, let's say you rotate this disk through an angle theta. चलो यार, displacement ऐसा समझ. Okay, so let's say you rotate this through an angle theta. You should expect this disk to come back. Why should it come back? Imagine that there is some kind of yes, Shivank, yes. So imagine that there is some kind of spring behind the disk. I'll give you the technical term for that spring on the next page. That's actually a spring which resists rotation. So you have certain springs which resist being stretched. Those are your normal springs. There are certain other springs which don't like to be rotated. Right? For instance, you can imagine your steering wheel also could have that kind of spring in its mechanism. You rotate your steering wheel and you leave it, it goes back to its mean, it goes back to a certain orientation. सीधा हो जाता है, तुम उसको घुमा के छोड़ दो, वो वापस सीधा हो जाता है. क्यों? There is some kind of spring which is trying to bring it back to that position. All right. So even over here, imagine that this is attached to some kind of spring which does not like this face being rotated or this disc being rotated. Yeah, like the key in some toys. Yeah, the key in some toys, they also don't like, that's again like a screw mechanism. But let's say there's some kind of spring which does not like this disc being rotated, so it's going to try and pull it back. ठीक है, उसको ट्विस्ट पसंद नहीं है, इसको घुमाते वक्त वो स्प्रिंग ट्विस्ट हो रहा है, तो उसको वापस सीधा होना है. ठीक है, तो सीधा होने के लिए वो घूम रहा है. अब वो सीधा होने के लिए वो क्या करेगा, वो इस डिस्क पे एक ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में टॉर्क लगाए. तो इस डिस्क पे वो एक ऐसा टॉर्क लगाएगा. डिस्क को क्लॉकवाइज घुमाया और इस पे एक एंटी क्लॉकवाइज टॉर्क लग गया. ऑलराइट, सो नाउ what we see over here is our torque is opposite theta. वहां पे क्या होता था, force was opposite x, यहाँ पे torque is opposite theta, and torque is going to be proportional to theta. Let us use the same constant of proportionality as we did in force. So instead of F equal to minus kx, यहाँ पे torque is minus k theta. Torque is minus k theta. Similarly, you can talk about alpha. वहां पे A was minus omega square theta. यहाँ पे alpha is, here we'll deal with, yes, here we'll deal with torque instead of force. वहां पे A was minus omega square x. यहाँ पे alpha is minus omega square theta. Okay, यहाँ पे just bear in mind. Okay, what are they similar to? वो भी बाजू में लिख लेता हूँ. Let's pull this a little down. थोड़ा नीचे ले लेता है. Okay, so these are similar to the force equations only. So this is similar to F is minus, एक टेबल की तरह बनाएंगे. Okay, so this is actually similar to F is minus kx, and this is similar to A is minus omega square x. Alright, and k का यही डेफिनेशन है. जैसे k क्या होगा, अगर मैंने इसको 2 डिग्री से रोटेट किया और तुम्हें दिख रहा है कि इस पे रेस्टोरिंग टॉर्क है ना, सम कितना 10 न्यूटन का आ रहा है, तो देन k इज 5 न्यूटन पर डिग्री. k इज टॉर्क अपॉन थीटा मैग्नीट्यूड वाइज, है ना. टॉर्क, कितना टॉर्क लगता है अपॉन कितना रोटेशन दिया, दैट इज के. टॉर्क इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू थीटा, बट हाउ प्रोपोर्शनल इज इट? स्ट्रांगली प्रोपोर्शनल. 2 डिग्री रोटेट करके 10 न्यूटन टॉर्क आ रहा है, या वीकली प्रोपोर्शनल 2 डिग्री रोटेट करके 2 न्यूटन टॉर्क आ रहा है. तो रेशियो इज के. ओके, यू कैन कंसिडर इट टू बी द स्प्रिंग कांस्टेंट ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ एसएच. यस, ओमेगा का वैसे ही, अब ओमेगा का रिश्ता, सो K will have the dimensions of torque. Theta is dimensionless. K will have the dimensions of torque. Newton meter, force into length. Okay. Now, then we know कि for torque about an instantaneous axis of rotation or an inertial axis of rotation is moment of inertia above that axis times alpha, right? So therefore, alpha can be written as torque by moment of inertia above the inertial axis of rotation. मतलब जिस axis के about ये rotation हो रहा है, there is always going to be about some fixed axis. So alpha can be written as torque above that axis, torque about the fixed axis upon moment of inertia about that axis. ये जब करोगे तो alpha can therefore be written as minus k by I theta. In fact, I'll use some more space for this. ये छोटा हो रहा है. So alpha can be therefore written as minus k upon moment of inertia above the fixed axis into theta, which thereby proves कि omega square is minus k by I. Omega square is k by I. So omega therefore becomes root k by moment of inertia about the IAOR. And as you guys know, this should be similar to omega. This should be similar to omega being root k by m in linear SHM. Then linear SHM में omega root k by m होता है, यहाँ पे omega root k upon moment of inertia about the IAOR है. ये कौन सा पार्ट वापस ये IAOR को वापस समझाओ, ये वाला टॉर्क वाला, यहाँ से, ये स्टार्टिंग से after alpha. So alpha is torque by moment of inertia, you know that, right? But that's about that torque equal to I alpha equation works for only two axes. One, it works for your center of mass, and the other, it works for an axis जिसका acceleration zero है. So if you have a fixed axis, उसका acceleration zero होगा, उसके लिए torque equal to I alpha works. So alpha, therefore, I'm writing as torque by I about that axis. Torque was this, by I किया, so alpha became minus k upon I theta. But alpha का coefficient मैंने omega square define किया है. Alpha के equation में theta का coefficient omega square define किया है. यहाँ से we get omega is root k by moment of inertia about the fixed axis. ये यहाँ पे the center is my fixed axis, है ना? So omega is root k by moment of inertia about that fixed axis. Compare this with omega being root k by m. M plays the role of, moment of inertia plays the role of m in a rotational context. F is ma, torque is I alpha. तो m के जगह I आ रहा है. The similarity continues. But यहाँ तक समझ में आ गया? Okay, copy these points. We'll go over some more similarities on the next page. Similar, एकदम similar formula, all in just, instead of being linear terms, they are now all rotational terms. एक मिनट, I'll fix that. Come on, ऊपर नहीं जा रहा है क्या? Let's see. Fix that. Doubt क्या है? When a body, if a body is going through both linear and, yeah, Prithvi, yes. Prithvi का doubt था कि if a body is doing both linear oscillation and angular oscillation, then can we equate the omega if they have the same time period? Like जैसे मैं अभी simple pendulum के लिए prove करूंगा कि simple pendulum can be viewed as a linear oscillation. It can also be viewed as an angular oscillation. You can view it in both ways. You can view the simple pendulum as the particle just going आगे पीछे, or you can also view it as a rotation of that entire, system. The bob and the string are rotating about that axis, आगे पीछे. Simple pendulum दोनों तरीके से visualize किया जा सकता है. दोनों both can be proved. It can be proved it's a linear SHM. It can also be proved it's an angular SHM. दोनों approach से same ही time period आएगा, obviously. So दोनों approach में same ही omega रहेगा. We'll see that. Let's prove that. Let me know if anyone wants me to wait on this page. Okay, कर लो जल्दी. Okay, so let's try to write all the, at least most of the important formulas we have seen earlier. Let's try to write those formulas in this context, okay, in a rotational context. So if you remember our derivation, हमने स्टार्ट किया था फोर्स इज माइनस के एक्स, ए इज माइनस ओमेगा स्क्वायर एक्स, वहां से हमने लिखा था ओमेगा इज रूट मतलब के बाई एम, then we got a differential equation d square x by dt square is minus omega square x, and then we just jump to the solution of that differential equation. So x is a sine omega t plus delta, b is a omega cos omega t plus delta. Let's see how those equations will look like. So अब देखो, first one, instead of x is, हाँ, so theta के जगह x आएगा. Okay, so maybe I'll make a table now. Okay? So theta के जगह, for instance, instead of x, instead of velocity, instead of acceleration, let's use theta, omega. So omega, I'll have to use a different symbol. So let's use psi. Okay? Theta, omega, and alpha. Okay? This is angular velocity. Angular velocity. जो circular motion में सीखा है ना, वो rate of change of angle. Velocity का corresponding term. तो नॉर्मली हम ओमेगा लिखते थे, बट इस चैप्टर में ओमेगा मीन समथिंग एल्स, इसलिए मैं साई यूज कर रहा हूं फॉर एंगुलर वेलोसिटी. व्हाट आर द अदर टर्म्स? देन वी हैव के एंड एंगुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी. दिस इज रेड एज साई. या साई. सो के एंड ओमेगा, यहाँ पे भी के एंड ओमेगा. दिस टर्म इज एंगुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी. I hope you know the difference. Angular velocity talks about angle कितना जल्दी change होगा. Angular frequency talks about phase कितना जल्दी change होगा, है ना? So it's talking about particle अपने SHM के through कितना जल्दी proceed करेगा. जैसे velocity change होता है SHM में, वैसा ही angular velocity change होगा एक SHM में. mean position में fastest, extreme positions में zero angular velocity. So angular velocity will change, but this is a constant. Omega is a constant for the SHM. K is a constant for the SHM. Okay. The next set of terms, we of course amplitude. Amplitude के जगह we can talk about theta naught. Okay, so max amplitude theta naught. What are the symbols we'll have? We'll see. Delta. So we can talk about phase. We can talk about delta. Yeah, phase, delta, almost same symbols you have used. Phase and delta. This is starting general phase and starting phase. Delta is starting phase. Okay, so with this, now when you see your equations, x is a sine omega t plus delta. ये बड़ा सा equation, which can also be written as a sine phase. इसके जगह अपना equation बनेगा phase. नहीं, phase नहीं, क्या चल रहा है? theta. Theta is theta max. तो theta max कितना है? Theta naught sine. No, Gaurav, no, doesn't. Theta is theta naught sine omega t plus delta. Okay? तो just just symbol change हुआ है, वरना almost फंडा वही है. Theta is theta naught sine omega t plus delta. Theta in terms of phase can be written as theta naught sine phase. Okay, theta naught sine phase. Then velocity. Okay, so velocity is a omega cos phase. वो ओमेगा टी प्लस डेल्टा बार बार नहीं लिखेंगे. वेलोसिटी इज ए ओमेगा कॉस फेज. तो यहाँ पे यू हैव साई विच इज एंगुलर वेलोसिटी इज ए, यानी कि थीटा नॉट ओमेगा एंगुलर फ्रीक्वेंसी cos phase. Okay. Similarly, you can talk about acceleration. A is minus a omega square sine phase. A is minus omega square x. In fact, यहाँ पे है alpha is minus max theta omega square sine phase. Then what other equation was there? Useful one. V is एक V और X के बीच में था. V is omega root A square minus X square. यहाँ पे भी सेम फंडा. V के जगह angular velocity. Just get used to that. Only for this chapter we'll use the symbol. Angular velocity is omega. Is omega root max theta square. थीटा का जो एम्पलीट्यूड है, एंगुलर एम्पलीट्यूड, माइनस करंट थीटा स्क्वायर. Okay, so you have all of this. Any other equation? टाइम के लिए कुछ लिखा था हमने. टाइम इज टाइम पीरियड का लिखा था 2 पाई रूट m by k. यहाँ पे you can see that as 2 पाई रूट m by k की जगह I. Okay. Yeah, we'll take the HCV doubts. But I hope you guys get the idea. तो ऐसा सारा फॉर्मूला जो भी था, just change these values, ठीक है? And you can accordingly it's just like an alternate type of SHM. Okay? Just linear terms की जगह corresponding angular terms है. Alright, so let me take some HCV doubts today now after this. And again, those who don't have doubts also, I would suggest don't go. I think it'll be a good discussion. So at least stay till 8:30. I think that covers almost all your important topics. Why does spring oppose motion? So spring ka wo, so as we saw in properties of matter, no, it all originates from there. Some materials don't like being twisted out of shape. So that's why a spring opposes motion. When you try to compress a spring, इसका torsional constant के कारण actually क्या हो रहा है? It's at each cross section there's a twist taking place. If you try to compress a stretch spring, वो उसको पसंद नहीं है. So he tries to oppose that. Okay. Yeah. So I'll stop over here, but please don't leave. Just stay. Maybe I'll HCV के doubts हैं. Maybe I will discuss one which I really want to bring out. 19 किसी का doubt है क्या? Question number 19. इसका एक बार solution देख लो. 19 doubt है. अच्छा. Hey, easy. Some are saying easy. Oh, nice. Good, yeah. It's good that you found it easy. This is so there are two questions, 19, 20, both are the same. So I gave this as homework. Let me explain 19 and then you can try out 20. Okay. And if it was not in the HCV, I would have anyways done this in class. This is, by the way, IAOR. You may see me use this again and again. What IAOR actually means, it stands for the instantaneous axis of rotation. So in simple words, it's just the axis जिसके about body घूम रहा है. एक fixed axis रहेगा उसके जिसके about body घूम रहा है. उसके about moment of inertia by K will give you time. Okay. ये हम next class में when we derive time period of when we derive time period of a simple pendulum using angular SHM, ऐसे 2-3 example है angular SHM के. When we derive those time periods, ये थोड़ा और समझ में आएगा. फिलहाल this is just an introduction. Let me just quickly discuss SCV 19. Okay, understand this, and then you can try maybe 20. The name of the spring that opposes rotation is called as a torsional spring. Torsional spring. I'll mention that in the next class. You can also find it in your HCV. Torsional pendulum के नाम पे देखिए. देखो ये क्वेश्चन एक बार जल्दी से बता देता हूँ इसमें क्या है, but very good for all those who manage to do this on your own. Basic principle SHM का वही है, ठीक है. The rest is just mechanics. A particle of mass m is attached to 3 springs of equal force constants. If the particle is pushed slightly against spring C, so this was spring C. Okay, so particle is pushed slightly against spring C. मतलब हमें क्या करना है? We need to give this particle a displacement x in the direction of this spring. Then find the time period of the oscillation. The first thing is, ऐसे question में you need to realize by how much did these springs actually get compressed? Okay, by how much did they get compressed? How much did they get stretched? Because you need to find forces on the block. For forces, you need Kx. In other words, you need K compression या extension. तो compression या extension पहले निकालना पड़ेगा. तो C gets compressed by X because the tip of that spring moved against the spring by an amount X. So there is no doubt there कि C got compressed by X. Okay. On the other hand, if you look at this guy, इसका tip इस direction में X से move कर रहा है. मतलब वो इस direction में, this angle being 45 degrees, let me use the other one. दोनों का same story है. इसका tip इस direction में X से move किया, ठीक है. But in the direction of the spring, that point has moved only X cos 45 degrees. Okay. So in the direction of the spring, it's moved only X cos 45. And the same story goes for the other spring. X cos 45 degrees, दोनों के along extension है. इस end का actual displacement X है, but X is not the amount the spring का length changed by. X का component in the along the line of the spring is the amount the spring का length changed by. Okay, so ये mass का जरूरत नहीं है. So these components are X cos 45 degrees. So these two springs, A and B, get stretched by X cos 45. Now that you know who is stretched and who's compressed by how much, now you can draw the forces on the block. So now when you see the forces on the block, you will find that because this one was compressed, he pushes by K times compression. You'll find that because this one was stretched, he'll pull by K times extension, and his extension is X by root 2. This one also was stretched, so he'll also pull by K times extension. So Kx by root 2. But now, the block was given a displacement of x in this direction. So we want to find, in fact by symmetry we know ये ऐसा इसी line के along आगे पीछे oscillate करेगा by symmetry. So we know कि block पे net force इसी line के along होने वाला है. इस line के along नहीं होता तो we would have seen the block leave the line. By symmetry we know net forces along this line itself. Okay, and we want the net restoring force, मतलब x के opposite कितना force मिल रहा है वो हमें चाहिए. So x के opposite अपना force निकालते वक्त वापस मुझे component लेना पड़ेगा. So if I have to take the components of the net and I need to find the net force opposite the displacement, my net force will end up being kx by root 2 cos 45, फिर से इसका कंपोनेंट cos 45 और फिर इसका भी कंपोनेंट cos 45, which will anyways now you can clearly see कि this is going to ultimately give you kx plus kx by 2 plus kx by 2, which will basically equal to 2kx. When you combine them, they're all now in the same direction, you'll ultimately get 2kx. So f is equal to minus, minus is just courtesy sake because it's opposite the direction of x. So f is minus 2kx, making time period 2 pi under root m by spring constant. Okay. So it's a nice question. Remember that 20 similar hai, you can try that out. Only the angles have changed in 20. Good question. Please remember this. What else, guys? What other doubt from the homework? Eighteenth. Okay. ये अपलोड कर लेता हूँ. 18th and 12th. एक बार 12th थोड़ा शॉर्टर है, 12th कर लेता हूँ पहले. In 12th, you're getting the answer as 44.44. Answer given is 40. 12 का let's see what's the mystery. 12 मैंने पहले किया है क्या? किया है. Okay. अच्छा नहीं किया. 12th में a body of mass 2 kg suspended through vertical spring executes. Let's check the answer एक बार. So mass is 2 kg, m is 2, vertical spring executes simple harmonic motion of time period 4 seconds. अच्छा कुछ conceptual mistake के कारण एक अलग आंसर आ रहा है. Then it's very important to figure this out. Let's see Q. Time is 4 seconds. Time भी यहाँ से K आ जाएगा 2 pi root है ना. 4 is 2 pi root m by K, 2 by K. So whatever K यहाँ से आ जाएगा कितना. K is 4 by 2 by pi square, if I'm not wrong. 2 upon pi का स्क्वायर. हाँ ठीक है. तो ये ऐसा आ रहा है K. फिर उसके बाद if the oscillations are stopped and the body hangs in equilibrium, if the oscillations are stopped and the body hangs in equilibrium, so when the body hangs in equilibrium, so there's already pi square by 2. Yes, the body hangs in equilibrium, तो mg already है, kx already है. यहाँ से we will get the extension as mg by k. We already have M, we already have G. And now in this situation, we want the potential energy stored in the spring. So now we want half K X square. Yani ki half K M square G square by, yeah, directly we could have also said T square by 2K. वही इधर आ रहा है, T square by 2K आ रहा है. T is mg square by 2K आ रहा है. तो ये है अपना potential energy mg square by 2K. Now plug in the values. So mass is 2, 2 का square into G, G को 10 लेंगे upon G का square, by the way. Let's just take that as 100 upon 2 into K. अब K can be taken as, pi square can approximately be taken as 10. So K is 5. So perfect 40 आ रहा है. 2 pi square and 10 कट गया, 40 आ रहा है. So why were you getting 44? What were you doing different? अच्छा, हाँ अच्छा, mgx क्यों include किया? I didn't get that. Why would you include mgx? It's asking for potential energy of the spring only. It's asking for the potential energy of the spring. So you have included mg or something like that. वो गलत हुआ है. Yeah, just check the question. Potential energy stored in the spring पूछा. Okay. I hope who had this doubt, I hope your doubt got clear. 44.4, apparently you're taking one extra term. सिर्फ स्प्रिंग का पोटेंशियल एनर्जी चाहिए था. Okay. All right. 18 एक बार देखते हैं. The spring shown in the figure is unstretched. By the way, those who want to unmute, can let me just remove that setting. So you took pi square as 9. Pi square is close to 10. Normally we take it close to 10. So just whenever you see pi square in any question, 10 ले लो approximately. You can use a calculator and see how close it's going to be. Okay. 18. The amplitude and the time period of the motion of the block. Amplitude, spring is unstretched, man starts pulling, mass of the block is m, man exerts a force F. तो ये F के कारण हमें एक तो पहले पता है कि मीन पोजीशन कुछ और हो गया है ना. मीन पोजीशन इज वेयर देयर इज इक्विलिब्रियम. सो मीन पोजीशन इज x is equal to F by K. दूसरी बात क्या है? The spring was unstretched when the man started pulling. So initially, when it was at its natural length, तब it was unstretched and it was at rest when the man started pulling. मतलब तभी velocity 0 था. So the starting position, the natural length position, became your extreme position. है ना? वो रेस्ट पे था. जब ये रेस्ट पे था, जब फोर्स सडनली डाल दिया, तो स्टार्टिंग पोजीशन becomes your extreme position. तो यहाँ से we all of a sudden have our amplitude. Amplitude is F by K. है ना? This distance is F by K. So F by K is equal to A. The distance between your natural length position and your mean position became your amplitude. क्योंकि natural length position पे वो रेस्ट पे था, वो extreme position हो गया. और mean position equilibrium, mean position मतलब equilibrium निकाल सकते हो. That's when these two forces are balanced. तो वहां से we get x is F by K. Yeah, when a new extra constant force is added, only the mean position shifts. Only the mean position shifts. So you figure out the mean position, it will be at the new equilibrium position. and then see what you know, where it started. Okay, so wherever you know it was at rest, that becomes an extreme position. तो स्टार्टिंग पोजीशन नेचुरल लेंथ वाला तुम्हारा एक्सट्रीम पोजीशन हो गया, वो रेस्ट पे था वहां पे, ठीक है. फिर एम्पलीट्यूड आ गया. एम्पलीट्यूड, टाइम पीरियड तो फर्क पड़ता ही नहीं है, के तो वही है अंडरलाइंग, ठीक है. फिर एनर्जी स्टोर्ड इन द स्प्रिंग व्हेन द ब्लॉक passes through the equilibrium position. I think you can answer that. You know the equilibrium position. So energy stored in the spring is half k extension square. Equilibrium position क्या है? ये है इसका स्क्वायर, x square by 2k. Okay, and the kinetic energy of the block at this position. So kinetic energy of the block मतलब मुझे mean position वाला velocity चाहिए. हाँ, ये amplitude समझा.
Sir, but sir, this is where my doubt was. Sir, here the amplitude, I mean, we are going from 0 to A. So here the value of phase is pi by 2, right?
ठीक है. Whatever, pi by 2 या 3 pi by 2. हाँ.
Sir, so then VMP should be 0, no?
अच्छा, before that, let me just clarify amplitude for one of them. And इसका आंसर वही से आएगा. नहीं, amplitude you are told कि you are starting from natural length. So when the block was at its natural length, that's when the force started acting, and the force was never removed. So this entire subsequent motion is under the influence of both F and K. Okay, so force started acting. मतलब ये जो भी SHM अब इसके आगे करेगा, this is going to be a position where it was at rest, and whenever it comes back to this position, it will always be at rest. So this becomes the extreme position. Where the block started became the extreme position. You know the equilibrium position is at an extension of F by K. So if you know the equilibrium, यानी कि mean position and the extreme position, you know your amplitude. ये फोर्स जैसे ही लगा ना, हाँ एक सेकेंड ना गाइस, जैसे ही ये फोर्स लगा, जैसे ही फोर्स एक्ट करना स्टार्ट हो गया, now magically the mean position is no longer this, but the mean position is this. And because the particle is not found at the mean position, वो अब तड़प रहा है वहां जाने के लिए, और वो अब उस पोजीशन के अबाउट ऑसिलेट करेगा. ठीक है, यहाँ पे वो रेस्ट पे था, तो एक्सट्रीम पोजीशन पता है, मीन पता है, वहां से एम्पलीट्यूड आ गया. हैव आई आंसर्ड द डाउट ऑफ हूएवर वाज आस्किंग मी द एम्पलीट्यूड? ओके. एंड दिस थिंग, ये काइनेटिक, ये जो velocity and mean position hai, some of you are suggesting several methods. You can do energy conservation, that's true. I would just do this. The mean position by velocity is a omega, so F upon K, and omega is root K by M. तो ये हो गया आंसर, amplitude into omega. Is that the answer? F by root mk. Yeah. Okay. What have I done? Kinetic. Sorry, ये velocity निकाल दिया, इसका इससे kinetic energy निकालेंगे. So whatever, F square by km. ये एक तरीका है. Any other bright idea? Like another bright idea would directly be, since it's asking you kinetic energy at the mean position, kinetic energy at the mean position होता है max kinetic energy. In other words, kinetic energy at the mean, because यहाँ पे potential energy नहीं है SHM वाला, so this is directly max kinetic energy. This is nothing but your total energy of an SHM. What is the formula for total energy of an SHM? Half K amplitude square. Half K amplitude square. Directly डाल दो F by K का square. ये भी एक मेथड हो गया. Then some of you are suggesting work energy theorem कौन सा नॉन एसएचएम वाला स्प्रिंग और ब्लॉक का, वो भी कर सकते हो, उसमें फोर्स का वर्क भी लेना पड़ेगा, फिर अप्लाइंग वर्क एनर्जी थ्योरम, फिर फोर्स एफ का भी वर्क लेना पड़ेगा। एंड इफ यू वांट टू अवॉइड ऑल ऑफ दैट, इफ यू डोंट वांट एफ का वर्क, अब इसमें तो इजी है, बट इफ यू डोंट वांट एफ का वर्क देन यू कैन यूज you can write potential energy as own, you can just use kinetic energy of the block and potential energy of the SHM, which will be half k distance from equilibrium ka square, which is actually what I in a way used in this. All right, good Hardik, nice, yeah, that will also work. 16th BEF, 16th. सिक्सटीन थोड़ा अच्छा था यार, 16 मैंने 10 स्टार मार्क करके रखा है। फाइंड द कंप्रेशन ऑफ द स्प्रिंग इन द इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन, वैसे ही क्वेश्चन है, तो लेट्स मतलब I'm not going to use values, but when I'll upload there's a I think a folder called as SHM doubts, so I'll upload it there. Yeah, I'll upload it with your lecture notes itself, one of the two. Okay, 16 क्या है? So again, so we're starting from natural length. Equilibrium position means a compression of F by K. Okay, that's our story. That's the answer to A. A sharp blow is given by an external agent to impart a speed to it towards the left. Find the sum of the potential energy of the spring and the kinetic energy of the block at this instant. तो जैसे ही तुम्हें V दिया है, B का आंसर आई होप यू गॉट है ना, हाफ mv स्क्वायर एक है और एक हाफ k x स्क्वायर है, and x is f by k का स्क्वायर. So that's the answer for B. The answer for part C is find the time period. Time period कुछ नहीं है, 2 pi root m by k. We know कि SHM ultimately by adding this extra force F, your k does not change. Then find the amplitude. Amplitude के लिए what I would do is I would use the equation. I know V, I know X. So I'll use this equation. V is omega root a square minus x square. And it's a lot easier when you put in the numbers. Yeah, but I'll use this because I know V, I know its distance from equilibrium. Okay. नहीं एक मिनट सॉरी, ये इससे भी इजी है, सॉरी एक मिनट, ये जो मैंने इधर लेबल किया है ये नेचुरल लेंथ था, ये नेचुरल लेंथ था, एंड x इक्वल टू f बाई k मेरा इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन था, इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन था. दिस वाज द आंसर टू द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन. यहाँ पे मैंने उसको वेलोसिटी दिया, मतलब ये क्या है, isn't this mean position का वेलोसिटी? This is actually mean position velocity. The velocity you're imparting to it when it is at its equilibrium position. So this is a omega. This is a root k by m. Quite easy to get amplitude in this context. है ना? V पता है, A पता है, V पता है, root V पता है, K और M पता है, तो वहां से amplitude आ गया. So that's the answer for D. Let me know if you're getting it. E. Write the potential energy of the spring when the block is at its left extreme. Okay, so when the block is at its left extreme, अंदर ऑलरेडी पहले से F by K अंदर है, अब और A एम्पलीट्यूड अंदर है, नेचुरल लेंथ से, दिस इज नेचुरल लेंथ से, है ना, पहले से मीन पोजीशन F by K अंदर था.
So got this. And so for the next part, sir, it will go at a distance of A from the mean position, right? Towards the right. Okay, so got F as well.
Okay. And 14 and 15 कोई पूछ रहा है, 14, 15. नो हार्दिक, फेज एंगल स्पेसिफिकली याद करने का वैसा जरूरत नहीं. a/2, मतलब याद करना जैसा नहीं हुआ. इफ द मोर फेमिलियर you are with your sine graph, you will know. So a/2, a√3/2 are quite common because they correspond to 30 degrees and 60 degrees. तो ऐसा मेमोराइज करने का जरूरत नहीं है. 0, π/2, 90, sorry 0, 90 and so on, वो those are of course slightly more important. 14, 15 का मतलब approach. So 14, 15 again are quite similar to this. I think सिर्फ वो जो common speed का, see if you can just unmute and tell me what did you find difficult in 14, 15?
The net force at the smaller block and
हाँ. So net force on the smaller block मतलब होता है ma. So smaller block का mass into smaller block का acceleration. So can you acceleration in an SHM is minus omega square displacement from mean position. All right. So you have to just try to figure out कि देखो क्या दिया है सवाल में. X above equilibrium position दिया है तो minus omega square x is acceleration and m into acceleration is net force. तो वहां से समझ रहा है, वो कंसेप्ट लग रहा है. नॉर्मल फोर्स, एक बार एक्सेलरेशन आ गया तो वो छोटे ब्लॉक के एफबीडी से नॉर्मल फोर्स आएगा. mg and normal are creating ma.
okay sir, got it.
है ना. and c में max amplitude with which they can oscillate together. तो एक पॉइंट के बाद ये तो हाईएस्ट पोजीशन में रिस्क ऑफ सेपरेटिंग है ना. एक पॉइंट के बाद में वो जब नॉर्मल 0 हो जाएगा, that's when they will separate.
Okay sir.
है ना. and B is like a compression of the spring in the equilibrium position. I think you can do that. फिर ब्लॉक को इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन से फर्दर नीचे तरफ अगेंस्ट द स्प्रिंग पुश किया. फाइंड द पोजीशन वेयर द टू ब्लॉक्स सेपरेट. ओके. देखो, फॉर द टू ब्लॉक्स टू सेपरेट, उसमें दिस जस्ट हैज टू डू विद द फैक्ट कि दिस इज सिमिलर टू द प्रीवियस क्वेश्चन. ये कुछ कंप्रेशन में था पहले से ही, उसके बाद तुमने और पुश किया, है ना. तो इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन से तुम जितना अंदर की तरफ पुश करोगे ना, वो एम्पलीट्यूड हो जाता है. तो अब वो दो ब्लॉक्स वहां से ए पीछे ए आगे ऑसिलेट करेंगे. ओके. नाउ समवेयर इन दिस काइंड ऑफ रेंज you will find a place where the normal force between these two blocks becomes 0. वो देख वापस कब नॉर्मल फोर्स 0 होगा. नॉर्मल फोर्स जब 0 होगा ना, दैट्स व्हेन सो जस्ट क्या करना पड़ेगा, एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ x फ्रॉम द इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन टू एक्सेलरेशन लिखेगा. वही सेम स्टोरी है पिछले क्वेश्चन की तरह ही. ओमेगा स्क्वायर एक्स है ना. और जब नॉर्मल, इसको सेपरेट होने का रिस्क है, इस पे नॉर्मल ऐसा है mg sin थीटा ऐसा है और उसका एक्सेलरेशन ओमेगा स्क्वायर एक्स है. तो जब नॉर्मल 0 हो जाएगा, mg sin theta will be m omega square x. So basically the block will separate when g sin theta is omega square x. So यहाँ से you will get the x for which that आगे वाला block will separate, m2 will separate from m1. Did you understand that? And once you have x, then you can find velocity. So velocity निकालने के लिए energy conservation भी लगा सकते हो या ये लगा सकते हो, v is omega root a square minus x square. x पता है, ये आ जाए. समझ में आया क्या? x का ये आंसर. But this is x from equilibrium position.
Yes sir, got it.
Cool. Clear है? Okay. चलो, welcome. Bye. Welcome. Bye. Good night. Good night.